period. On my black, brown, and indigenous. Gotta holler if you really feeling this. Gotta holler if you really real enough. Other rappers is delirious. Yeah, it's really that serious. Better holler if you really feeling me. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna live in abundance. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna. I gotta keep it 100. We gotta stop all the stunting. You know we coming from nothing. Yo, you talking about money, you bluffing. We gotta do something different. We gotta change how we live in. We gotta do better for women. We gotta do better for children. We gotta listen to victims, whether Jewish or Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter your religion. You gotta stand against the system, or else you just another villain. How you just sitting there chilling?
Of sweet ecstasy since I met you, babe. Oh, I've done some wrong, but 6 years on, we hold sentiment and a love that is evergreen and forever in our heart. Oh, let's take it back. Remember when you walked in that classroom that day? You just smiled and waved, I just came. I thought that you would stay. Now we're safe in our place. We made it our own as the darkness fades away. There's nothing between us here after all this time. I'm so glad you're mine. And here you are in my arms. I've got everything I could dream of from my love start. Soft embrace, oh, touch of a hand. It's all the little things that turn a poor man into a rich man. Oh, let's take it back. Remember when you walked in that classroom that day? You just smiled and waved, I just caved. Never saw you stay. Now we're safe in our place. We make it our own as the darkness fades away. There's nothing between us here after all this time. I'm so glad you're mine. Worlds collide. Worlds collide. Now it's safe in our head.
Ladies and gentlemen, and forgive that glitch. I don't know what the hell that was. All right, this is why it's important to have two laptops, everybody. We just learned a lesson. It's always important to have two laptops.
I love it. No, I think you know what. I know what. You know what happened. I think you like fully jinxed it. No, it's got it.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. 7 minutes of dead. Jesus Christ. I apologize about that, Luke.
Oh, it's all right, mate. It's all good. It's all good. Technical difficulties.
Right. I'm just going to take my background away because it's too choppy right now. So I'm going to adjust that. The laptop I was using, for the audience that's wondering what's going on, the laptop I was using is better than the laptop I'm using right now. Which I'm very pissed off about.
I love it. To summarize, yeah.
So it's whatever. Anyway, what's going on, Luke? How's it going?
All good, man. We are here. Yes, all good. All good. All good. In sunny England, it looks well. No, it's not. It's very grey and dull outside. So it's a beautiful place.
Nice. It's grey and dull over here too. So I'll share that with you.
Nice one.
So your song, "Glad You're Mine." I love that tune, dude. I love that tune.
Thank you.
I see that it's your most played as well too. It's a hit. You got a hit right
does
there.
well. You got a hit right there. But no, it's good. It's a good little tune. Yeah, I was really happy with that because it's kind of an actual story that song, like in terms of a relationship I've been in for a long while, and it's kind of a nice sort of actually like a chronological story of that kind of thing, which I really am proud of in that sense. It's not just like a typical sort of like, you make up a situation about love or something, but it's actually like a literal story of that. So I'm really proud of the lyrics of that one. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing. So when you had it down packed, did you think that it was going to get the buzz that it has now, or was you expecting any other different feedback?
To be honest, I didn't really mind too much in a weird way. I kind of just was like, it's like a chill tune. I enjoy the song. You know what I mean? It's not like a big big poppy chorus or anything like that. Anything catchy. But yeah, no, I thought what people would like it, and take that what I said from it, like the whole love story thing from it, and the lyrics are quite relatable, I guess, for a lot of people in that way. So it's got some nice feedback.
It's very relatable. It is. When I first heard it made me think of like times like, like even when you mentioned when you saw you in the classroom, stuff like that. Oh yeah, I know what that's like. Like you already catching the commonality in what people go through in emotion.
That's what I like. But that is literally true though. That's the thing. That's what I liked. I was like, oh my god, how can I make it not sound completely and utterly cringe, but just like describe just do it in a bit more of a fancy way with like some more metaphorical things and what cool words, instead of just being like, I love you, I saw you and and love at first sight.
Right.
I like that bit. Definitely.
Yeah, man. So basically you do you find yourself as an emotional writer, as in you have to get an experience to write, or do you find yourself as someone that's capable to capture that emotion regardless?
That's a good question. Yeah, I'd say most of the time, because I've realized as well, even through the last couple of months, I work with a few people now in terms of like I've mentor and talking to a bit of management and stuff like that. And I've had a lot of questions asked to me, like, what are your songs about? And I really realized recently that my songs are all about like to someone else. Do you know what I mean? I'm not, a lot of people write about themselves. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people write about like the situation that they're going through and how it's made them feel. But I realize a lot of my stuff is about someone else. And how, maybe I'm sorry to them, maybe I'm thankful to them, have admiration towards them and stuff like that. So I feel like they're all like real stories, like the song I wrote and put out called All That Needing, and that's literally like full on. I remember the situation. It was like I was very busy with doing music and stuff, and I had a friend that I was, to be honest, quite horrible to, in the sense that I was like, he was having a rough time and I was just busy and I just didn't see how bad he was getting and stuff like that. And it was like a story, about that basically. Oh, sorry, hold on, I've gone off, haven't I?
Oh no, I see you. I see you. You're fine. We all hear you perfectly.
the screen went. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, so that kind of story, and just sort of like a song saying, you're all that I needed, and I'm all that you're needing, kind of thing. That kind of like realization. It's like messages to people and stuff like that. I feel like that's a lot of the time. But I guess I can draw from like a feeling. Yeah, I feel like I do that, especially like there's a song I wrote the other day with someone, and that was just like thinking like, drawing from a certain situation and thinking, oh, how would that make you feel, kind of thing. How would this play out? And I guess sometimes it's also depends, like if you're just wanting to write a big sort of bit more catchy sort of tune, you do draw less on real life things. You just sort of think, oh, what pops off a bit, but do you know what I mean? But
right.
They're all mixed, but I do personally draw off a lot of experiences. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely dope. I love your honesty of talking about with your friendships. Like sometimes you felt like you wasn't the best friend that you should have been because you were so busy pursuing your career, which is something that I can relate to as well. I'm pretty sure any artist can relate to, any podcaster can relate to, because you lose track of a lot of people and you don't know what they're going through. You don't. I mean, I had a friend, one of my friends, that recently killed themselves last year, and I wish that, I mean, I'm through it now, but you think about it 24/7. Like, what could you have done? What is there anything that you could have done to prevent that?
Of course,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And
it's
especially
like,
go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, carry on. I didn't say. I was just agreeing. Yeah, it's horrible, man. It's just, yeah. It's, well, I've never been through it, but I can. It's the self sort of, like the weight you put on yourself, I guess, isn't it? Because you,
right.
Yeah, I can only imagine, obviously, because I generally haven't luckily had to go through something like that. But yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to get that extreme. I apologize. I just realized I just went.
No, mate. Of course, no. It's literally, it's life, isn't it?
Yeah, it is life. It is, and you're too busy trying to make sure you're fine tuned and you lose track of so many people. But it's not like you're doing it on purpose. It's because you have this mission that you want to get accomplished.
Yeah,
and only you can get it accomplished.
Oh yeah, honestly, there's been so many times where even with my girlfriend and stuff like that, like there's been things I've just been like so obsessed with doing this, and I'm doing this and doing this and trying to get this done, and then I just forget about a little thing that I was not meant to do, maybe, but just maybe if I wasn't, I was seeming a bit of a dick, really, but just not realizing. Do you know what I mean? And then you go, oh my god, yeah, what the hell? I just need to snap out of that for a second. Like, come on,
right?
realize how you're acting. Do you know what I mean? Because you do, because it's sort of just, you get so obsessed with it and powered by it that when something distracts you from that, you're like, no, and then you realize, oh no, I'm being I'm being unreasonable here. Do you know what I mean? It kind of is crazy. It kind of is crazy.
Oh yeah. And from what I've heard from you so far, I can see that you are 100% into this. So there's a lot of greatness that's coming out of whatever you're going through. That's definitely, I can tell you from just being a fan from afar here in the U.S. and boring ass Connecticut.
No. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. But yeah, no, it's it's all shaping up now, I guess, a bit more in terms of like message and or even production, like things like that in the music itself is like shaping up a bit more, which is nice to get to. Because beforehand, when we last talked, I probably wouldn't have had a clue, but now it's you slowly get there, and I don't think you ever really know, but you get there. So you get a point. Do you know what I mean?
Can you share your journey on production? Like what story comes out that gave you a realization of growth? because I remember you were sharing that beforehand on like, oh, I think I'm horrible at production, but I got this mic here. I'm trying.
Oh well, I generally am terrible at production. Like I work with producers that are very good
Nice.
at doing that. But yeah, no, in terms of like understanding it and like understanding certain sounds and instruments and a palette of what you have in your music is like a thing that comes over time, and you don't have a clue until you sort of get into it and you start realizing how you sing. That's another thing I find amazing. I thought the other day, like I was like, I have a way that I sing now. I know it. That's how I sing. Like my voice has a certain. I do certain things, but a couple of years ago, I would have just been sort of trying things, copying other people a little bit to try and like, you know what I mean? It's kind of weird.
Right.
And then you sort of just you sort of get all your inspirations and yourself and merge them into your voice.
You start to build an accent. For people that don't know, you start to build an accent and a sound for yourself that curates originally, that comes off the influences of so many other great people before you.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely dope. And has there been times where you know, on the production part, have there been times where you were given feedback that made you want to ignore, or did you take feedback and that made you become stronger as an artist? Because I do see the changes with listening to from you earlier on until now. You seem so much more confident, so much more defined in a way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Like I think you've got to take it. I think you're quite like, especially when you start, even more so. You think, oh, you kind of a bit more sort of push offish because you're like, oh no, it's good, but it's like no. Now, I think the more you get into it, the more advice you actually do take on. Maybe some people are a bit unreasonable in the way that, like, if they're trying to think, oh, you should do this and you should sing like this. I don't think that's fair. It's like if it's more of like a tasteful thing in terms of adding this into the production and stuff, there's definitely things that you wouldn't think of, and just someone saying like 2 words about an instrument or a riff or something can just be like, right. Oh my god, that makes a song. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah,
that's absolutely dope. Do you have a favorite producer that you have worked with, or are you still venturing around?
Yeah, I work. I've kind of found like a few people that I like work with between now. Yeah, so like, yeah, got a girl called Dominique Gilbert. She's very good, very good. She's an artist herself, but she also does a lot of like stuff for sync and TV and stuff like that. But she's very good, very good producer. And yeah, just few people really. I guess it just depends what suits the song. I guess, you know.
Yeah. I definitely agree. And you know, after this amazing hit, you came out with "Cross My Heart," which is actually a collaboration that you have with Amber. Is it Clark?
Oh, Amber Claire. Yeah, it's like it's a weird sort of spelling.
You had to look at it twice.
Yeah. Oh, that one was. I really like that song, but it was generally it was quite a random one. We just sort of put it out. I mean, we didn't really care about that. We didn't do much promotion for it at all. But we were just like, let's just record it and whack it out. Let's just do it.
Oh, great, and, man. What is it about?
That's quite a like selfish song, I guess, and that's also another reason. It was just like, we like this song, let's record it, put it out, and then it's there. You know what I mean? But it's about literally, because we're both obviously artists, and she she was just going through a phase where she was like, she was kind of having a patch where she was feeling a bit like, I need to go and do this music thing more, and I'm just doing this job and I'm not doing it and stuff. I'm not doing what I really want to do, and it's just that reflection of like being in this bubble at back home where you feel like it's a comfort blanket, but you feel like you need to get out of that and just go and do this thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like in the whole point of "Cross My Heart," saying "Cross My Heart" is like cross my heart and promise myself I'll try kind of thing. It's like that kind of thing. I guess it relates to a lot of like avenues of life or work or whatever, when people just feeling stuck and they're just like, right, I'm going to promise myself I'm going to try. Do you know what I mean? This kind of thing. But yeah, so it's kind of a different topic for a song, but yeah, it's that kind of thing.
You got to do it for yourself. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those, like, how do we balance what we need to do to survive plus what we want to do in life? And I know not everybody finds that, but I feel like it's worth trying in so many ways. And I really wish people, you know, do the best they can to even try to get any type of release from the craziness in the world and stuff. You know, we were not built to be um these type of bigs that just only do one thing
Yeah, yeah.
24/7 and struggle. We're built to communicate with others, to build a life that um we can be with our loved ones and not be alone and stuff, and have
Mm.
passion. We're passionate beings, you know. It's definitely a tricky road, especially when you're not financially able to go down that path. But if you can make
Mm.
it, I'm on your side.
Yeah, 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 for sure. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'm lucky that I've got to a point where I get to do. I'm a musician full time, so I get to do music full
That's
time now,
amazing.
which is great. Even if it's, you know, I teach a bit guitar, which I really like. Just
Amazing.
it's just fun teaching people guitar. I actually quite enjoy it. And then gigs, and then songwriting work, and then my own artist stuff and gigs and stuff. So there's a few you got. If you, I feel like at the beginning, if you want to do music, you've got, well, mostly all your life you want to do music, you have to have a few jobs. Pretty much, basically, which is really fun because it has variety as well, because you're sort of teaching and then suddenly you've got a gig in the evening, and then at the weekend you're going to London playing a gig. Like tonight, I'm literally going to London and playing a gig, supporting another artist in London.
Oh, nice. Where are you playing at?
It's called hold on, what's it called? My brain is gone. It's like Temple of No, that's it. Temple of Music and Art. It's called. It's like
Oh,
a
nice.
pretty nice venue in London. Supporting a guy, there, which will be called Peter Wise, which would be nice. So yeah. So it's just things like that are just like, yeah, cool. Because just go to London, do that, meet some people. It's a strange job. Like
You mentioned that you've been a lot more busier.
Yeah, it's definitely busy, like, and with a lot of like projects as well, like side things. Like I do stuff for a bit of like TV and film stuff, but
Oh, nice.
I've been doing an EP, like a 5-track EP for a label called BMG
Nice,
recently,
Luke.
and
Nice.
that's another thing that it's busy, but that's also so good for my career if it goes
Right.
if it goes well, because it's like, it's just my music essentially. I'm getting all these phone calls, and my laptop keeps going off. Yeah, so yeah, what was I saying? My brain just went there. Sorry, that
No,
literally
you're
just
fine.
threw me off.
We were talking about all the projects that you're
That's
going
it.
with.
Yeah.
And
So like that sort of
yeah.
stuff as well. It's like it's all my own music and just literally the same vibe, but it gets pitched for things like Love Island and, you know, all these different shows that are like big on TV and things like that, and reality dating shows and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it's good, and they give you good exposure. So that's another side of everything, which is time consuming, but it's fun. So
Oh yeah. You know, the reality dating and the red pill culture, which they want to call it now. I see it's like so popular here for Westerners. Like we are very, very like addicted to that. Like, is there anyone here? We have like Fresh and Fit, who I detest, and then they have like people like Kevin Samuels who died, Andrew Tate, who I detest as well too. But is there anyone like that in the UK that's like a big figure like that?
What, just crazy, but they're just like, yeah. I don't know, really. I can't think off the top of my head, actually. But yeah, Andrew Tate is a very well known just man, isn't he? Well, he's just a strange person. Yeah,
very strange.
to put it lightly, really, isn't it?
You're right. To put it lightly. So back to the shows. How many shows have you since the last time I've interviewed you? Have you been because we talked around the beginning when I first started my podcast, which I was very proud of the opportunity to have you on, and there was technical difficulties and all that stuff like that, but it was COVID, it was lockdown. It's a different world than what we are now experiencing now we're trying to readjust back into what we had before, but you know, economy, all that stuff. People got podcasts about that. I don't have to talk about that right now. But yeah, like it's a different freaking system and all this type of stuff that just came out of that. But you were able to still find a way to keep gigging. And how many shows have you been? Have you lost count yet, or you just keep going? Like, what's your favorite spots? The last question, like your favorite spots you want to shout out that you have performed at?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many. I mean, a lot of people. I know a lot of people that like keep a list of like the number of the gigs they've done. Do you know what I mean? They're like, oh yeah, this year I've done 100 and done 8 gigs or whatever. But I generally just don't know. I do gigs quite a lot. Like I do. Yeah, it's been quite consistent thing, especially in London. London's like the hotspot because of where I am. It's not really the biggest place for gigs around here. This is more just like a village area. But London's so easy to get to. But yeah, do a lot of like showcase sort of stuff in London most weeks. Probably a couple months, and then support slots. I did a support. I was a support act in Bournemouth and a place called Oxford over here as well, for an artist called Billy Lockett recently, who's doing really well in the UK. He's like really coming up, so that was quite fun. Yeah, and just got a co-headline in June with an artist called Gemma Johnson, which is in Camden in London. So yeah, man, it's just, and then yeah, it's just been all those sort of stuff. And I'd say there's a venue in London called the Bedford, which is very famous actually on the circuit. Like if you go in there, like the pictures, right? It's like quite a round sort of venue. And it's like all the pictures around it are really cool because it's like people like Ed Sheeran and James Bay and all these people and Sam Smith, and it's like a very like big one like on the circuit kind of thing. So yeah, so yeah,
Bedford would say would be the spot for people should check out if they ever go to London. That's got to be the spot to go.
I think it's just good. Like when there's showcase event, I don't know what it is about that place. Like, honestly. Nowadays, obviously, you know, I've got to that age where I need to make money, very much so. But that place, I would play there for free every time. Like I would play there for free if they asked me, just because it's so good and the sound is so good, and they have like a dedicated fan base audience for somehow that are just
That's
like
amazing.
like. So whenever you play there, it's like you have an audience, you have like people to play to that you can try and win over to your side. Right. And it's like, and it's really cool. Like it's just a buzzing thing every time we go there. So I like that. And there's like you know, venues I'd love to play over here called Lafayette. One called Lafayette and O'Meara, which are like really cool sort of venues over here. But yeah,
Bedford sounds dope as hell. A lot of artists wish they can always be around the crowd when they perform. The fact that such a venue like that already has such a strong following where you don't have to worry if anyone's going to show up, that is just so encouraging to artists. Like I can only imagine how people feel. Maybe it could be nerve-wracking, like, oh my god, I gotta make sure my shit is on point. But after a while, you know, you'll get used to it and you'll get better, you know, because that's all we ever want is to be heard. And you know, a lot of venues love to just like put the weight on you. Like you have to bring these people, you have to sell these tickets, while we also get a front off of yourselves.
Oh yeah, oh no,
nothing.
It's so messed up. It's so messed up.
Yeah, man. So that makes me feel better that there's a place like that. I wonder if we have something like that here in boring ass Connecticut. We know we're a cover band state, because it's where a lot of old people go. And no, there's no offense to old people. I love that you guys have done your careers, you're ready to retire. But besides the cities, outside of the cities, it's a huge old population. And they love the cover bands. They love seeing the cover bands from that are playing the Beatles or playing what I can't even think of the name of this band right now. You just said the band, actually. There was another British band I was thinking of, but like these guys are so big that they only make money off of covering their music, and they're like doing big venues, Luke. They're doing like sometimes almost arena size and stuff like that.
Man, honestly, it's like tribute acts, like that kind of thing,
right?
Like tribute, yeah. And honestly, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's like I know this band in the UK. It's a Queen, you know the band Queen. And
I love Queen.
Yeah. Like they're like a massive like tribute band, and I literally see them all the time in like theaters and
Freddie Mercury on my background.
Freddie Mercury and Michael Jackson, love that. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Oh, I'm not okay. This is really rude to do, but I've just heard the doorbell. Can I just get this delivery?
Yeah.
That is very random, isn't it? But yeah, it's just 1 second. I'll be 2 seconds.
Yeah, take your time, man. I'll take you off the screen. I got you right now. Yeah. Luke White, man, dope guy. This is actually a good time to give a quick announcement. There's going to be a huge exclusive interview with my good friend TDV, who is from Nigeria, who's coming out with a Love and Lust album, actually EP. Um, and this Love and Lust EP is actually going to feature yours truly in Nigeria. Yeah. Um, my voice cameo is going to be on his new album, and I'm very freaking excited about that because I've never did anything like that before. um, I told some of my friends, they're like, "You're not rapping, you're not doing any congas or anything." That's to come. But dude, I literally got a voice cameo on a dude that is absolutely dope ass music on his next up and coming project, which is freaking amazing. So I'm super excited about that. And that interview is going to be June 2nd, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to make a post about it. I'm going to make a really good post about it. But yeah, look out for that. And also, I'm going to have on Monday, Sabi Saves, who is a great activist in the community from Chicago, I believe. She knows a few of the people I dealt with. Willie Bragg, I know all them, Tommy Nation. So I was really, really excited to get her on. She has such a huge major platform and she reached a lot of people. So I was so shocked that she was able to answer my email. So I'm gonna see you, Sabi Saves, right on Monday. Monday. Luke White is waiting for his pizza, so we're gonna give him some time. Maybe play some tunes real quick. Let me see what I got here. So the music thing, when people somebody asked me, they was like, "Dude, how you playing songs on?" He's back. I gotta address the music part. Luke, I'm sorry at the beginning of the interview how the whole computer thing happened, and then the music part that's probably gonna be silent by Facebook and everybody else that's on Facebook. That means you got to move over to Spotify. Come over to Spotify because I can play whatever the hell I want. Spotify. I'm tired of the censoring. Like, oh, we gotta mute your song because you're playing this and you don't have the rights. I'm like, bro, I'm talking to the artist though. Pissing me off.
Yeah, you're talking to the person that's singing.
Right. So no, I don't own the rights, but I have permission because he's here. Zuckerberg. That's all I gotta say.
That cracked me up.
He's freaking here. So what were we talking about before you got your food? Whatever. I got a few questions. Cool. Because I haven't been here in a while, so a lot of people are going to get to know you now. What inspired you? Not what inspired. What is your music influences?
Artist wise.
Yeah, artists, bands, whatever.
Oh mate, I've got them down. Right. So shall I give you my top three? That's like a solid thing to do, isn't it? Okay, so and you might not know some of these. I mean, Damien Rice. Have you heard of Damien Rice?
I'll look him up.
Yeah, Damien Rice is he's like one of my favorite artists. He's like the reason I started writing songs, to be fair. He's like unbelievable. I saw him the other week actually, and he was really good. Right, another one, Dermot Kennedy.
Dermot Kennedy. I'm learning some names today. All right, I'm writing that down. Spell Dermot. You're quick.
Yeah, D-E-R M-O-T, I think. Dermot. Yeah, Dermot. Yeah, Kennedy. Honestly, if you'll rate it, trust me, you'll like Damien Kennedy. Right. He is ridiculous. So who else? I would say and another one you definitely Ben Howard.
Ben Howard. He does actually kind of sound familiar in a way.
Isn't that weird? I just listed three artists that you don't know. The thing is, two of them are Irish, and one of them is from the UK. So maybe that's why.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the disclaimer because I was kind of looking at myself like, dude, you know, mad music. Like, how the hell these guys ain't never. And so I love Ireland. I love their culture. So I'm definitely gonna look those guys up. And then we got the UK guy who is which one is the UK guy?
Ben
Is it
Howard, yeah.
Ben Howard. Okay, got you.
And
All
I
right, look
also,
him up.
you know, unpopular opinion. Do you like, James Blunt? You can't know James Blunt. You know the guy that sings that song. You know the guy that sings "You're beautiful."
Yeah.
You're beautiful. Yeah, that guy. I really like his music. But anyway, that's about it.
You know, I've listened to his compilation once, a few times, but every time I hear his name, the only thing that comes to me is "You're beautiful." So I need to go back and listen to him, and it could be because I have done my little recreational practices while his music comes on, and that's why. That's the only reason why.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no. It's if you've only heard "You're Beautiful" by James Blunt, you would probably hate it. You'd probably hate the idea of listening to James Blunt. But no, I think he's good. Anyway, sorry. What going on about James Blunt?
No, you're fine, bro. You know what I love? What's beautiful about this is that, like, this is why I love doing international interviews because I basically I learn more about a lot more other music outside the US because we're so proud of our artists that we're just like, and I think the only people that ever break through really is artists like the Beatles or Sex Pistols or the Who and all that stuff like that. So we don't really get a chance to hear from all other type of artists and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like people like it's like the height of people like Lewis Capaldi and Ed Sheeran that you'd know, obviously.
You know Ed Sheeran, yep. Ed Sheeran is like the GOAT right now of he's just too freaking big. It's insane.
You know Lewis Capaldi as well, yeah? Lewis Capaldi? Yeah, yes. Of course. Yeah. So it's like that level is like the world knows him, but then it's like those people I like are kind of like they're people know them in America a bit, but not like
Right. And you know, God, you know what? You said Ed Sheeran again, and I keep thinking about that damn song "Dancing with My Eyes Closed." I can't stop singing that shit.
Oh, that's a good song. Yeah, very good song.
So freaking good. I'm like, I'm gonna kill the vibe I have with it if I keep singing it. I'm gonna get annoyed with it.
Yeah. Oh, he is great. He's really good.
Next question: What was the most difficult for you to write? What song was the most difficult for you to write? Sorry about that. Out of your music, was it? Did you have any difficult writing process? Any writer's block or anything like that?
Oh, writer's block. Good question. Oh no, I've definitely experienced writer's block where I haven't written for like a month or two. Like, I just haven't had anything, just done nothing. Like, it's crazy. It's a horrible feeling. You know what? I don't think writer's block is necessarily a thing. I think it's a thing you make up in your head, but it's just you overthink things, or you don't genuinely have anything that you're inspired to write about. I think that's the problem. Some people really can just write anything. Yeah, they could just write anything, but it's like, for example, I watched an interview the other day of that Dermot Kennedy artist, and he was saying as well, it was like when he got into the industry big, it was like really hard for him. And I was like, because he used to write a song like and craft it for like a month, one song a month or something, and then make it perfect, like the best lyrically, 10 out of 10. But then it got signed, and then he had to got chucked into writing sessions every day, and he was like, I can't write a song every day, like, and I think if you want to focus on it, I guess it's hard because you want to revise it a lot, don't you, if you're writing that sort of folk pop sort of music where the lyrics are a bit more you got to be a bit more clever with them, don't you? But I've definitely experienced that, like, ridiculous amounts.
Oh, that's good. You know, because like, it's honestly, I always tell people, like, it depends on how you feel. Like you said, it took you 2 months. Sometimes that's so important because a lot of times, you know, like even Prince, like one of his biggest hits, it took him a month to write years actually to write a song. Smokey Robinson to even write a certain song, which was what was it? I think it was Cruising. Was it Cruising? I think it was Cruising. It took him years to write that song.
Yeah, but some people just have to keep going back. Yeah,
fire.
Yeah.
You know, it's worth the wait. it's really worth the wait, and that's why I like it when people take their time to drop stuff. But then there's also, like you said, that enigma where people could just write anytime, like, and they could just drop music anytime, and it's like, Jesus Christ, dude, like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, literally, it's like crazy. I do envy those sort of people sometimes, but I mean, I don't know, it's all right.
So what is like your writing process though for you? Like, what's the best for you?
I think you know what it is, because I was a guitarist for like since I was young, like really young, like eight till like 15, and then didn't start singing till like late. So I'm quite happy and lucky that I learned to play guitar like very decently and properly before I started singing. So then it was like I know decent like sort of things and how to come up with parts and different tunings and stuff like that. So a lot of the time it is guitar parts and just fiddling around with that, and then coming up with stuff. Even though saying that, a lot of my stuff nowadays is very like simple on guitar, even though it's just like the typical like 4 chords. But sometimes it's like quite nice to lead with that. And then also like the other day I did a writing session, and I came in and on my voice memos, my notes on my phone, I literally just had like a paragraph of this like metaphorical sort of like phrase, and I was like, I like that, and I was like, I want to write a song based around that, and then you just work that into the chorus and then go from there. So I guess it depends really, but guitar is obviously such a big thing for me because of that. Yeah, so.
No, that's awesome. And so what brings you? Okay, so here's the question. So when I wonder if you remember, because a lot of times I don't remember. My mom tried to tell me, "Oh, this was your first song you ever heard." What was the song you heard that made you want to be a guitarist?
You know what? I don't. I've always said this. Like, I generally don't remember. Like, I think I was just young and just like the idea of like playing a guitar. I didn't have like, and some people say, "Oh, I saw a video of Eric Clapton or Jimi Hendrix like shredding," and I was like, "Oh my god, I want to do that." I think at that age, before I even started, I was listening to like Robbie Williams or something like ridiculous, or Take That or something. Nice. Do you know what I mean? So I was listening to some pretty like rubbish pop.
Right.
Not rubbish. It's pretty good, but you know what I mean.
Wanted to shred.
Yeah, and then suddenly, then when I started having guitar lessons, that's when I didn't know any of these names: Jimi Hendrix, BB King. All these people. Now he's got showed them, and then that's when I started getting obsessed with people like Jimi Hendrix, BB King, Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin, all these sort of people. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's when it happened. That's where I was like, oh, okay, these guys are cool.
Yeah, BB King is. He's so. I know that I'm only 31, but he's so influential in my life with his music. I have him on my playlist. Of course, I have Hendrix on my playlist. Little Richard, the goats and stuff like that. Have you seen any movies? And because they've been dropping a lot of movies for musicians. Have you seen any musician movies like Elvis or maybe?
Oh, mate, I love that film. I love it. Have you seen it as well? Yeah,
I've seen it. It's really good. What was your thoughts on it?
I thought it was very good. Yeah, I thought it was really good. It's not good acting, isn't it? It's like Jesus. Yeah. He really threw himself in. He's still got the voice, hasn't he?
Yeah, it was kind of scary.
Yeah, but no, there's some really good ones, isn't there? I mean, there was the Elton John one as well, and the Queen one, which were both good. They did like a really shit like Jimi Hendrix one though. Did you ever see that?
I did not, because everyone that I asked about did not have a good review.
Oh, it was really, you know what? I know, like in those films when people are acting and playing guitar and stuff, like obviously their hands are moving a bit different, but geez, man, his hands are moving mad. Like there was like the guitar in the audio, and then his hand was just a completely different place that you would play. It was just like,
it was freaking you out as a guitarist. You was like, "What in the hell? You could have got a real guitarist."
yeah, exactly. So I just, but anyway, it was enjoyable because I just liked I just liked having like an insight into what he did in his life, obviously. But it was like, that's the cool part about them. Even if they are a bit rubbish, they're still cool to sort of understand a bit more about them.
Right. Last question, because I don't want to take any more else of your time, and we're getting down to the wire. Um, Actually, I already asked you that question. It was basically what has been your most favorite performance such far. But I'll go further with that. Who was your favorite person to headline for? Um, do you have a favorite musician that you headlined for?
What, headlined or supported? Do you mean like support
Or
act?
supported? Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not in the point in my career I've done great, had that sort of thing, but I did a support act for an artist who I really looked up to quite well, called Newton Faulkner, who's like a UK artist. Who over here, if you say Newton Faulkner that to anyone, they're like, nice.
So he's known.
So he's known over here. So that was really cool. And I remember walking in, he was really nice guy. Yeah, that was pretty cool, actually, I must say. And he's outstanding. He's I don't know, you probably really wouldn't know him if you're in America, but he's kind of got a very, let me show you a photo of him.
Okay.
Very distinct image.
Yeah, definitely send me a link too. I'll check him out. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like dreads and stuff. He's like, yeah, that's him. Good old Newton Faulkner. Yeah, he's like, he's got like dreads and stuff, and he's like, yeah, he's like really good. He's like a one-man band type thing, so he does all these like tapping things and has like a drum for his, like, it's just crazy. But yeah,
wow.
he had a really big couple hits, like #1 over here and everything. So that was good. But yeah, and an artist called Billy Lockett, who I said about, that was pretty cool because I liked his music for a while. But it's those moments, isn't it? It's kind of cool, even if they're not like Billy Lockett, he's getting there, but he's not like known everywhere. Like Newton Faulkner is known, but Billy Lockett, I listened to his music for years, but then got to support him, and that's quite cool because it's like you just listen to their music and then you like get to support him. So that's pretty cool. That's what I like about it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome, man. Let me let you go because I don't want to take no more of your time. My internet's starting to act up again.
Yeah, just before.
Right? We definitely gotta do this again, and hopefully next time, when because I can budget and go actually to the UK and London and stuff like that. And I want to do personal interviews and stuff more instead of online stuff. So we'll definitely stay in touch, of course, on Instagram and all that stuff like that. But before we go, any projects that you want to announce yet, or I already have your link in the description, or you're not ready yet to announce it?
Well, I can say that I've got a song that's coming out at the very start of June. So let's say that. But and then if you want to check out my socials, it's official Luke White Music. There you go.
Yep.
All the updates go there. Many an update.
Luke White. Thank you so much for coming on this podcast and gracing us with your presence, brother. And I hope that you have a really good day. It's the evening time for you over there, right? It's morning over here, but it's evening time over there.
It's getting there. Yeah, it's like 4:15, so it's getting there. It's getting there. But yeah, no, thank you, mate. It's good to chat. And catch up. It's nice to do that, though, isn't it? Because it's like weird to see. It's nice to see the difference,
right? Yeah, man, you're a friend of the show, bro. I love what you do. I'm a real fan, and I hope that everything works out with you in the future, brother.
Thank you, mate. No, pleasure. But yeah, stay in touch and talk soon.
Yeah. Cool. And for everyone that is listening, I hope you like, share, donate. The link is in my bio. Check out Luke White's music. The link is also in the description of the show. And I hope you enjoy what you're hearing. And to keep me on, please keep liking and sharing. Thank you so much for the feedback. And shouts out to the TikTok squad, because TikTok is great. You're going to see a lot of clips with Luke White on TikTok very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that. And I hope you have a really good day.
Blank period, yeah. On my black, brown, and indigenous. Gotta holler if you really feeling this. Gotta holler if you really real enough. Other rappers is delirious. Yeah, it's really that serious. Better holler if you really feeling me. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna live in abundance. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna. I gotta keep it 100. We gotta stop all the stunting. You know we coming from nothing. Yo, you talking about money, you bluffing. We gotta do something different. We gotta change how we live in. We gotta do better for women. We gotta do better for children. We gotta listen to victims, whether Jewish or Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter your religion. You gotta stand against the system, or else you just another villain. How you just sitting there chilling?